Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. It's not going to be an exciting video. It's just doing some really boring maintenance items on the truck. Today I've got a camera that I'm going to replace on the truck. The 450 camera for the bedside. When I'm hooking up my camper, the resolution is just terrible. It has a line in it that's supposed to help you line up to your hitch. The line's off center. I don't know what the deal is there, but I've had the truck long enough and hooked up my camper enough to know I can't trust the line, and it's honestly a distraction for me. So I got a new camera. I'm gonna try and fix that. But before I do, it's still cold up here. It got cold today. I'm not real happy about having to work outside a little bit, but it is what it is. The compressor for my airbags, I've got one of those wireless one airlift air compressors, and I'm getting a compressor freeze up error, and I know this is my fault because my the air inlet with the filter, it's got a little filter on it, fell off the mount and was just kind of lying in the bed. And I actually use my truck for hauling, and it is definitely, you know, a towing princess, if you will, but it gets dirty, it gets worked, and you know, to be honest with you, it was under the tonneau cover. I figured it didn't really matter, but you know, it rains, whatever. The tonneau cover is at 100% watertight, and water had soaked in the air filter. I don't know when, but over a period of time, like probably 6 months, that this thing fell off, and I ignored it because I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter, but eventually it's gonna like keep sucking wet, moist air into your compressor. It's gonna rust up and it's gonna freeze. So I went out to the truck. I was just gonna pull it off real quick, see if I could clean it up, put it back together, and get it working. Well, yeah, no, I can't clean it up. I could probably do a rebuild kit if I could find one. It's just kind of a nightmare. It's just easier to just replace a compressor. It's like $100 compressor, maybe 120. I'll order one off the interwebs, probably Amazon if I had to guess, and I'll just swap it out. And I don't know if you'll see the onboard air system that I have that's independent of this system. On the truck, I use that for the truck tires, the camper tires, and the four-wheeler tires, or whoever needs air tires when we're doing our camping and our excursions. A lot of people have asked me why I keep them, you know, separate. I just don't want another gauge in the truck. I don't want to manually have to inflate or deflate the bags. I like having an app on my phone so I can see it, dial it in, because I am OCD about the truck being level as possible, and that's just how I do it. So yeah, they're two totally independent systems. Ideally, I'd find like a check valve for air and just, you know, pump up air into the system using the onboard air. There's plenty of air, you know, there. It's just right now I don't have that check valve. I haven't researched it, and this is easier. That's basically what it boils down to. But anyway, so here we go. Okay, guys, so this is what we found. This is the piston here. Those are some ball bearings that are supposed to be in there. It's obviously seen some water, froze, and blew apart the bearing. The motor itself seems to work okay, but junk. And how this normally is, again, this is the end, and this is your air intake. And this guy here normally has this filter here with this cap, like so. And that hooks to, this is like the this is the part of the system that I like. Air comes in here from the compressor, goes out here and here to the bags independently, and you can control them by the app. The problem is there's no check valve, so I could take air in from another air system, but when I manually go to deflate the air out of the system, it doesn't take it just out of the bags. It doesn't internally regulate the air. It just takes all the air out, so it'll take the air down to my whole system, which that's a drag. I don't really care for that. So anyway, this is part of the system that I like. I can control it with my phone. Compressor mounts in there. So anyway, this here is supposed to mount down here, and it didn't work. This ended up flopping out, and it started picking up water sitting in the bottom of the bed of the truck, which entered the pump, which, here's the carnage. I think it's fairly safe to say this one's, you know, my fault, not really Airlift's fault. So we'll replace the pump, and in case anybody wants to know, this is an Airlift pump 16192. I did manage to find it on Amazon for like 110 bucks shipped to the house. So that'll get here later on this week. I'll swap it out and we'll be good to go. You know, newfound respect for YouTubers that open packages on camera with one hand. I give you a lot of credit. Anyway, this new camera, this comes from a company called Custom Solutions. Jeffrey Connors out of Washington. And I think I ordered this, I don't know, in December. They were sold out, and they basically said they'd ship it when it came in. It came in February. It's been too damn cold and haven't cared. Been working on the Razor, but I got her done. So now we're going to work on the truck a little bit. Alright, we've unpackaged the envelope from Custom Solutions. There's the invoice. You'll see 259 bucks, $10.40 for shipping. Takes care of that. Let's open the box. I have not opened it yet. Alright, so I'm guessing this is the camera. Give me some sort of tool here. Not sure what I'm going to need that for, but probably to take off some sort of retainer. And we've got some instructions here. Trying to get her open here. Get rid of this box. So they do give you some instructions. This looks pretty simple. Basically, there is 4 T20 screws holding the third brake light on. You're going to pull that out. Looks like there's 2 T10 screws, which is why they give you the screwdriver. Pull out the old camera, put the new one in there, and put it back together. It looks really simple. So we'll try it right now. FYI, here, let's do this. This is why it is. Here is the new camera replacement. Looks like it's got a little factory connector in the back. This is a nice rubber sealing. This is some sort of cap. We'll pull that off. And there's your camera. Literally looks like there's the 2 screws. And this is going to be an amazing install. Looks super complicated. I'm glad I said that. This will probably be a disaster. Alright, so here's the current bed cam. As you can see, it has this line that supposedly is to line up to your 5th wheel. But if you look real close, I shouldn't say it's to line up with your 5th wheel. It's to line up to the center of the bed. But as you can see, mine's off center, which is kind of distracting. And the view of this camera isn't all that impressive, if I'm honest. It's pretty grainy. It's just not the best. So we're going to replace it with the new camera, but the new camera, it loses that line, which is a hindrance to me anyway. I just want to be able to see better, because my hitch right now just looks like it blends into the bed. It's so dark. So hopefully this is a little bit better. This will be a good comparison. I can see everybody cringing that I'm using an impact right now. I can assure you, I'm a professional. And by professional, I mean I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. There's our little T10 screws. See if we can do this on camera and not fuck anything up. If they wouldn't have given me the screwdriver, I just want you to know I'd use the impact on that. Alright, so you've got this retainer that kind of goes over, holds it in. I don't think we're reusing that. I think that part is built into the new camera. We're going to see here. I'm going to slide it in. Alright, so this is the factory camera that I pulled out of here. And you can see it's got this little retainer, holds the thing down like this. And this connector comes out differently than the camera that they give you. It just comes straight out the back. I don't think it's going to make a hill of beans difference. We're going to go ahead and start putting these in. It says in the instructions to make sure you tighten these down to 12 inch-pounds. I wonder how long it took them to find that spec. Props to the guy who probably burned up more time than he cares to admit finding that correct spec. That's good on you. Appreciate it. I am not gonna worry about that at all. We're gonna go to town. We're going to tighten them until they're snug, and we're going to call it good. Not sure if you can see this very well, but you want to make sure this seal is seated all the way around, which we've done. So we'll go and throw her back in the truck and see how it does. All right, we're back. And he's using that impact on them little screws again in plastic. Probably gonna fucking break it. I mean, it's the guy who just goes to town. I mean, it's kind of like, don't be an idiot. You're fine. I don't know. I'm not saying that I don't make mistakes at all. I do. But I fix my mistakes. It's called accountability. All right. There you go, done. Let's go in the cab and take a look at it. Oh yeah. Those of you wondering about the other air system, it's a bit overkill, but I guess we'll show you real quick, because I know Mark will be like, I can't believe you didn't show it. That's where the little wireless compressor sits normally, but it's not. There's some loud horns under there. They're fun. People don't get in my way. Anyway, that's that. All right, so there's the difference. I didn't have to do anything. I just turned it on, put on the bed cam, and this is the picture that I'm getting. Looks like it's definitely better clarity. I should be able to see better. The line is gone, which for me helps, because my line was off and it drove me insane. So I'm looking forward to being able to hitch up with this camera. Should be good. All right, so the Razor's done. The only thing I really need to do to it is mount some cameras to it, clean it, and that's about it. I did put our new trail passes on for Wisconsin. The other ones were red and expired in the end of this month in 2024. So now we're good to 2026. I will say the orange looks much better on my machine than the red. And before that, I believe they were green. The green pretty much looked like ass. I did not like that. So I was very happy when I opened up the envelope this year and they were orange. I need to get her cleaned up. You can see this windshield is disgusting. And then I bought a new camera. I bought one of those 360 cameras, and I thought it would be really cool to mount it back here, coming off this way, and getting that shot, you know, like back here while we're riding. And I've got whips. They're not real big. They're these guys right here. I'm sure they'll get in the way. These things go right in here like this. So that's one of the whips installed. So the camera's going to be back here a ways, but I mean, you'll see the flags. They'll be in the way. We're going to experiment a little bit with that shot, but I got some stuff to mount it up, and we're gonna give it a shot. And I've also got to run some power cables to where my cameras are, because I don't know if you guys know this, but GoPro batteries kind of suck. They're awful. They get hot. The camera gets hot, and it just practically bursts into flames every time you record for any amount of distance. I've always had this camera mount here. That's not going to change. I think I'm going to do a camera mount down here, kind of pointing in at the cab. I mean, you don't show a lot of the cab video, but you know, certain circumstances where it's kind of cool to see it. Got another mount back here. Not sure if that's going to stay or not. Thought it might be cool when we're not riding with the dogs. I mean, that would be bad when the dogs are in there. This is my rear mount. That works pretty well. No issues with that. We'll leave that one going. Although I could easily turn this guy to face backwards as well and get more of this machine in viewpoint. You can kind of see doing something like that. You can see the machine. It takes up a lot of the frame, but when you're here, you get hardly any of the machine, and it's kind of cool to have just a little bit of the machine in the frame, because you can see how much the machine's moving around. Otherwise it gets lost in translation, if you will. So we're going to work on that a little bit today, and that's about it. Alright, so got the first forward facing camera mounted, got a little wire going to it. This way I can hard mount or hardwire the camera to go to a larger battery, like an external battery. Okay, so here's camera number 2. And this will be forward facing, obviously. It's got a little mount, and that'll hit Linda and I when we're driving. Get a view from the front facing cam. Okay, so here's the rear facing camera. Got that mounted up. Tire still works. Alright, not sure if I showed this or not, but this is like the rear camera mount. Got our power cords coming down. And when the dogs are here, I mean, it's pretty simple. You just take this guy, you know, tuck them down there so the dogs can't bother it. Same thing back here. There's plenty of room for those cords to go down there, tucked out of the way. When the dogs aren't with us, we actually put the back seats in here, and I have a little backpack that sits right here, and they'll plug into some big batteries. I can show you those right here. I've got my buddy Mark set me up with this backpack. It's like water resistant, if you will, but we got a couple of these are like 25,000 amp hour batteries, or milliamp hour batteries, and that's why I use to power the GoPros. That way you're not, you know, redoing batteries and all that. I forgot I had these. I bought these. These are, I mean, this is a GoPro mount, is secure and all that, but you can unlock it and just kind of, it's magnetic, pop it off. I wanted to get these last year because changing batteries while it was fixed to the machine was so tough, so I got these so I could pop it off, be done with it. I don't know if I need them or not now, but I had them, so I put them all on. So I put that on that one, put one here, put one here, and then this is my 360 camera mount. Again, I don't know if I'm going to use this or how much I'll use it, but we can suck it in, we can push it way out, and it should stay. If it doesn't, you know, it seems pretty floppy, but I've seen other guys on YouTube use these things, and there's great image stabilization in them. So I'm thinking they'll probably look like it's flopping around, but hopefully it stays put and I don't lose it, because it was expensive. I did not run a power supply to that one, but I you know, that one I can pop off and change, and it's not a big deal. And I've got several batteries for that one, so that's going to be the only one that I could, or that I foresee having to do that. I forgot to show you these guys. Just little ends to put on them so dirt and grime doesn't get in there. Found those on Amazon. They were dirt cheap. Just look for rubber protectors for USB-C cords, and you'll find those, but those are pretty handy. Other than that, that's kind of it. Got 4 camera locations for GoPros and 1 for 360 camera, so that I should have plenty of angles to get, you know, some decent shots this year for riding. The riding videos never perform well, but they're really more for us, and I like to do them and record them and remember the memories later. I know Mark, he likes watching them. Steve used to like watching them. He's not going to West Virginia this year. He's got some other plans. He's going on a trip to, I think he's going to Sand Hollow, and he's also going to Tennessee. So they'll have a great time. I wish I could go with them, but they're retired. They have time. Wife and I just don't get that kind of time off yet. Hopefully when we eventually do retire, we do, and we'll go for it. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up, guys. Really appreciate you watching this quick one. I know it wasn't a lot of great content, but it's something to do, and till next time, we'll see ya.